You don't get to come from outside and tell everyone else.
That's me in the video getting a bomb thrown over my head. I still stand by my original point, which is I'm a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. New York City is for everyone.
Now you have leftists telling you, in the face of Allahu Akbar and a bomb, I still want more of them than white Christian men. No, the left has gone, they're not even left anymore. I tell you what should be your worst nightmare. Being blown apart by an Islamic terrorist who has been radicalized through an evil religion and ideology. That's your worst nightmare.
That's a qualified.
That's a legitimate nightmare.
Yeah.
That's worse than your car breaking down.
Yeah, what's that movie called? I Know What You Did Last Ramadan?
Yes, exactly. And even the sequel is still, I still know what you did this Ramadan.
Yes. And every Ramadan hence.
Know what you're planning next Ramadan.
So we're going to use, obviously you've seen this recent story in New York, and the photo of the year of that white knight leftist and Allahu Akbar, the bomb being thrown over his shoulder. Well, there have been some developments. And this is a tactic of the left. They want to guilt you, and they want you to feel ashamed for your basic instincts, which, by the way, every society has had since ever. Now, before we get to that, I'm going to give you kind of a roadmap here. Well, no, I'll do it after. First, watch this clip.
And all that being said, I'm not going to use this as an excuse to be a xenophobic bigot.
There you go. Xenophobic bigot. Let me just look up right now the definition from the dictionary. Can you bring up xenophobia? Fear and hatred of strangers or foreigners, or of anything that is strange or foreign. So of anything that is strange or foreign. That doesn't apply to criticisms of Islam. If you have a problem with Islam, it's because it's anything but foreign. It's because you know it. As a matter of fact, the people who know Islam more intimately and have rejected it, they would be able to make the case that it's the opposite of xenophobia. Xenophobia would be different skin color, would be someone from a different place I know nothing about. Is that the reason you're concerned about Islamic terrorism? Now, democracies, and we live in a constitutional republic, but let's go with democracy because the left loves to use that word. This is the downside in a place like New York City, right? When you have a government, according to Abraham Lincoln, right, for the people, by the people. What if the people are retarded? And what if the people, and I mean that, and what if the people are suicidally empathetic, which we've discussed, but what if the people who are not contributing are actually expanding the threat? What if they are voting, and what if their policies are built off the backs of actual people in this country who stand to lose something? The good news is, before we get through this, there's a pretty simple solution in how we fix this. It's time for prescription. I had a voting prescription a while back. It was like a 6-point voting solution. Let me make it really simpler. Really simple, yeah. Let me make it simpler or really simple. Let me make it more bigger.
Your worst nightmare.
Okay, a 4-point solution here. When we're talking about a constitutional republic, this idea that everyone gets to vote, no matter what you do, no matter what you contribute, is silly. If you were to go back not only to the founding fathers, but to any nation throughout the history of ever, and tell them, yeah, and there will be people who have no families, who pay no taxes, who serve their country in no way, but take from the country, and of course they all get to vote. It would be about as laughable as same-sex marriage. Here's how you fix it, okay? Number one, only those in mandatory selective service get to vote. What that means is, draft. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to serve your country. It doesn't mean you have to go in the military. It means as long as a draft exists, as long as a government can say, you are now in the military, only those who are required to sign up for it get to vote. So if you want to fix that, you can apply it to women across the board. And I'm not even saying combat roles. Most military roles are not combat roles. You cannot have a portion of the country who have skin in the game, who will potentially put their lives on the line or their livelihood if they have to leave their place of work, and a group of people who don't. They're not going to vote the same way. So one, only those in mandatory selective service have the right to vote. Of course, two, legal citizen, SAVE Act, we need to get through that. Three, taxes paid for at least 3 years total, meaning you've had 3 years of gainful employment that prove that you have been a contributor, and you have to be paying taxes or having them withheld the current voting year. And number 4, 1 vote per household. 1 vote per household, which is how it was throughout most of human history, and certainly in the Western world, because you don't want to have a home divided. 1 vote per household. That's it. That's a 4-point plan. You change that, guess what? People who have skin in the game, people who are contributing, they will now be voting on how their contributions are used. Those people will care about immigration. Those people will care about terrorism. Those people will care about wasteful spending. Those who stand only to gain will vote solely for gain. This brings us to Islamic terrorism and the gaslighting from the left. Here was, of course, the infamous video that you saw yesterday or sometime this weekend.
We were born and raised in New York, and we want everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
Now, the reason this is important is because I've had people come up, right, and I think it's a line of attack. Have you ever actually had your mind changed? Well, actually, I have. On a few things as new information comes in. I wouldn't say my mind has been changed. Maybe the path to the solution is different because new information provides context. I've never gone from pro-life to pro-abortion, for example. I've never gone from pro-Second Amendment to anti-Second Amendment. But I've changed my mind, for example, like, oh, there's a different way to generate revenue when you see that tariffs can be applied fruitfully. So yes, but you would think that this scenario, right? Someone going, hey, the problem is anti-Islam xenophobia, Allahu Akbar, bomb thrown right in front of them. You would think that would be kind of textbook. You should probably change your mind. Your mind should be changed because someone tried to kill you. No, here's how comedian Walter Masterson, that's the man in that video, here's how he reacted to it online. And it perfectly parallels the viewpoint of the left versus conservatism. I was in the middle of saying, as a born and raised New Yorker, we welcome everyone into the city, and he threw that over my head. And I still stand by it. This is not satire.
Stand by what? The bomb?
Yes. Exactly. As a born and raised in New Yorker, everyone is welcome. Everyone except Chief Goat Effer Jake Lang, not the person who threw the bomb.
Right.
I cannot stress this enough. It was right near our feet, and it did not look real.
Jeez.
We just stood there laughing. Meanwhile, the incel femoids ran away, having been totally jester-mogged. Their cortisol levels have yet to recover. If you appreciate my work, go to my Patreon and show me some love. So this perfectly parallels the leftist worldview versus the... I know you're hearing this and you're thinking it's almost satire. This guy actually thinks it's a good point. So this man was looking at a bomb in front of him, thrown by a man over his shoulder, yelling, Allahu Akbar, and he says it's fine. The people, someone like you, who see a bomb thrown by a terrorist yelling Allahu Akbar are the pussies, are the idiots. If you want to protect your family, your country, yourself, you are the idiot because he doesn't have a basic instinct of self-preservation. Literally, rats do if they see a threat. This man thinks that this is he will give his life. I wasn't afraid of a bomb. What are you, you femoid? He will give his life to virtue signal. It's like a jihad.
He got his 72 buttholes. Don't worry.
Yes. And they'll do this all the time, right? Oh, yeah? Well, oh, you need a gun to protect yourself? I don't. I'm a man. What do you have, a tiny... They'll do that all the time.
Yes and yes.
Yeah. It's like, what is this?
What about it?
Is this high school where someone goes, what? You flinched. You know who always flinches? A professional boxer. Oh, you mean you're trying to protect yourself? This guy thinks it's a good point. Can you believe that these people saw a bomb and a man yelling Allahu Akbar and ran? Those are the people I want out of my city, not the man who threw the bomb.
Yeah. When he yelled at Allahu Akbar, somebody screamed, and I'm like, that's the appropriate response.
Yes.
That is almost never said in this context in a peaceful way.
Right.
Okay? This isn't like some nice guy walking down the street saying it. It's running at a protest against Muslims taking over the city, screaming it.
Now apply this to everything. Oh, what? So you're afraid of immigrants coming in and committing crimes? You're afraid of MS-13? Yes. Oh, wait, so what? So you're afraid of a religion of which, 198 million followers globally believe in violence against infidels or apostates? Yes. So what? So you believe that you should be able to, what? You should have a gun to protect yourself because you're afraid of rapists or gang members? Yes. Yes. So just like when the left says, oh, it's unconstitutional, they're lying to you. I'm a Christian, but anytime a leftist man tries to portray themselves as a tough guy or a brave guy, you know it's an act. Now, after being dumped on by the internet, this man, Masterson, released a follow-up that we referenced, I think, earlier.
You don't get to come from outside and tell everyone else.
That's me in the video getting a bomb thrown over my head. Let me just give you some context for what was happening. So this was at a rally hosted by white supremacist Jake Lang. He's a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump. He was holding an anti-Muslim rally when this guy jumped over me and committed an act of terrorism. That sounds confusing.
No.
Let me start over. So Jake Lang was holding the rally. He's known for three things: being a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump, losing to the letter S, and, as we found out today, grooming 15-year-old girls. What? Jake Lang was holding this rally saying things like this.
America is a white Christian country.
If you're saying America is for white Christian men, you're a white supremacist. Now, I really want to be clear that I made a huge mistake in not taking cover after this explosive device was thrown. If you're at a public event and someone throws what looks like an explosive device, you're not a wimp for taking cover.
Is it common?
We were counter-protesting, making Jake Lang look like the idiot that he is, when these two idiots came along and committed an act of terrorism. They could not have done more to legitimize Jake Lang's white supremacist talking points.
He gets
they
it
literally
now.
threw the bomb over my head while I was talking about inclusion. The CIA should definitely be paying them at this point. I just want to reiterate that I was not practicing safety that day. I could have been killed, and that weighs very heavy on both me and my family. And all that being said, I'm not going to use this as an excuse to be a xenophobic bigot. Elon Musk and all of right-wing media are having a field day right now because I am choosing inclusion and not bigotry. I still stand by my original point, which is I'm a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. New York City is for everyone, except for terrorists who throw bombs and goat fucking white supremacists like Jake Lang.
So all that really means is he realizes how it came off, and he's trying to say, oh, I'm not saying you're a coward if you're... It doesn't change the fact that not only in the moment, but a follow-up, which he thoughtfully wrote on X. What is your duty as a man, as a husband, father, from what I hear in that video, as an American? Is your primary duty to let everybody know how inclusive you are? Or is your primary duty to keep you, your family, your community safe? In that moment, in the absence of complete information, though I would say the picture is pretty much complete when it's Allahu Akbar, tick, 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 tick. That's just me. I'd make the inference.
Yeah.
He chose virtue signaling. In other words, he chose, no, the message of tolerance and inclusion. By the way, in the complete absence of data, of polling numbers, that many, many Muslims, of course, not only support violence against non-Muslims and against heretics, against infidels, but they also, by the way, make up the most significant portion of terrorism and have done so for many decades. So even with all that information, his priority is no white guilt. Diversity is our strength. Virtue signal over basic human safety. You want people like him leading you? And let's just take this down the trail too. Remember after 9/11, they wanted to build a mosque around Ground Zero. When people say both parties have gone so far right and far left, when that conversation was taking place, it was a conversation about religious freedom, about us being inclusive in the United States. But there were plenty of people, obviously almost entirely the right, but on the left saying, you know what? I understand it, but it's probably distasteful, probably shouldn't go there considering what happened. Now you have leftists telling you, in the face of Allahu Akbar and a bomb, I still want more of them than white Christian men. No, the left has gone, they're not even left anymore. I don't even know where you would call them on the political spectrum. Foundation Daily. All the daily vitamins and minerals you need, check. Clinical ingredients, check. At their clinically effective doses, check. And lab tested, so you know that what's on the label is exactly what you're getting. Foundation, fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps that you might be missing. Go to foundationdaily.com today. Subscribe and save 40% for life. Help! Help! They are the ones who changed. They are the ones who are radical. And this guy is just the perfect incarnation of this. He is a progressive comedian, this Masterson, who makes his bones trolling conservatives. That's his thing.
The names of the 9 people that were killed by ICE this month. I'm reading names of people killed by ICE. You're going to touch me? You're going to touch me? Alex Preddy, Renee Good, Keith Porter, Parody Law. These people were killed by ICE this month. 9 people were killed by ICE this month. And you're throwing me out while I'm reading their names? You are funding our occupation.
So we're in Minneapolis right now. We're going ice fishing. This is an ICE vehicle right here. And we can tell it's an ICE vehicle because it has out-of-state plates because it's a rental. They rent the cars by the day from local
Only
rental. And there's a cage. Is that a cage in there?
Yep, cage in the back.
Cage in the back seat. They take a rental car and they outfit it with a damn cage.
What? It's pretty funny stuff.
Comedian, yeah.
This is just, this is why, look, in your gut, don't just go with your gut, but if you have a gut feeling, then try and verify it. This is why you inherently, and this also, by the way, applies to you women, you inherently view leftist men as feminine. That's entirely, oh, a cage! Who built the cages, Joe? Well, do you mean a way to contain people? By the way, tomorrow you'll be able to see I did an ICE ride along in Austin. First person we apprehended was MS-13 member, aggravated kidnapping, assault, firearms charges. Second one was a child pornographer, a woman, her own children, distributing it on WhatsApp. Those are just the first 2.
She belongs in New York City because everyone belongs in New York.
That was before the sun came up. So you know what? Hey, a cage in the car, which is incidental, making sure that they are contained. Yeah, I have no problem with it. But someone just going, oh, I can't believe cage. Oh, I can't believe naughty words. And by the way, they don't all have to look as genetically warped as this man. You have that Alan Richson, whatever, in the War Machines thing. Elon Musk is dangerous because we need to ban naughty words. Let me ask you this. I know that we have plenty of people who are self-professed Democrats or moderates. You're a man. Have you ever once heard someone express something you disagree with and thought, oh, he shouldn't be allowed to say that? That's not a masculine view.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not a thing that goes through the male mind. If someone crosses a line and they are verbally assaulting you, you might go to blows. No, this is why you view them as inherently feminine. And this is why they are the white knights and they are the useful pawns for feminism, who, by the way, will discard them and tell them to sit down and shut up whenever it's deemed most convenient. This guy has a Patreon. It reads, funded by you, hated by fascists. And on his website, he sells merchandise like Karl Marx's daddy greeting cards, socialism and Antifa branded mugs, and an Eat the Rich t-shirt for $40. An Eat the Rich t-shirt for $40. Ours are less, by the way. They have socialism and Antifa branded mugs. And the mug, actually, I should be clear, is a prop from, he's a comedic writer, his failed sitcom pilot, Antifa. Faggot. And here's the thing.
I don't see why NBC didn't pick it up.
I don't know either.
I don't either. It's
Anti-friends. You can go to CrowderShop.com, right? Actually, you can go check this out. We have the Socialism is for Fig shirt right there. 25% off site-wide. And our shirts that are actually much
Really
better than
nice.
most are that poly blend. Like, we actually have much thinner margins. They go for like $30 standard. So this guy could easily not charge you so much for his Marxist communist gear, but he chooses to charge you more. The left, they don't actually live what they claim to believe.
You have to fund the movement, Stephen.
Right.
You got to make money as a capitalist so that you can be a good communist.
You got to fund his rent.
But I asked you this one, so 25% off?
25% off site
CrowderShop.com.
Yep. Go
and
there right
maybe
now.
we can get a shirt up for this guy. We can have one with him on there specifically.
Maybe that Time magazine cover
Yes.
that we did yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get that out.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, send in
Don't
your
steal
message.
our
if you want.
ideas.
So this Will
Well, he can steal the ideas
No,
and
not
then
him.
sell them for $1,000 or whatever he's trying to sell.
That's true.
You can't have an entire generation of men like this leading the. Obviously, they would lead you straight into suicide.
Yeah.
And we can't actually preserve a constitutional republic if people are propagandized to this point. Like, I just don't know what the founding fathers would have said to. Yeah, you have people who will actually condemn Americans trying to keep the homeland safe while they actually encourage policy and welcome invaders who have expressly told them that they want to kill them. Like, let me give you Exhibit A, Mr. Jefferson. Allahu Akbar, yeah, one of those, like kind of like the pirates that you guys know you fought, threw a bomb, and this man actually still hates Americans more than that guy. What do you do with that?
Yeah. Exercising their First Amendment right. If this had been the other way around, it's like somebody exercising their First Amendment right was terrorized by a white person who threw a bomb. It's the case study that he should have gone, wait, maybe I'm a little bit wrong here. This guy is not the bad guy, the white guy, even though I disagree with him. It's the people shouting Allahu Akbar and throwing a bomb that could have killed me.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other innocent people there.
Yep.
They don't care about that. That's how they view free speech.
You know what? Actually, Mission Control. I don't know why this didn't occur to me before. Let's see what, if anything, this guy said on Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Yeah.
Willing to bet you'll find some inconsistencies there while also lamenting the death of the Ayatollah.
I wonder if he uses qualifiers for it.
Right.
Like he does in his other videos. And when he was there on the street, he's using qualifiers. I'm from New York. I was born here. I'm native.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what does that matter? I thought you said everybody. I thought everybody was included.
Yeah.
Why are you giving qualifications?
How can you
like
be
you're authorized to speak on this because you're a native? Are the ones who aren't native are they authorized because they're allowed but they're not?
Also, by the way, how can you be native on stolen land?
It's true.
That's true.
It fails to.
Chief Masterson, brother of Danny Masterson, both rape.
Wow, you took our scalping to the next level, huh? Wow, the bombs. Wow, wish we thought of that.
You guys.
Yeah. Also, it should be noted, though, that he's a very skilled, aspiring actor. This is just for fun.
Hey, Jared. I'm in kind of a hurry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna.
What is it?
Could you teach me how to fight?
Up again, right?
What?
You make me happy.
I like that one.
Steve, you lit yourself on fire.
Oh, he's okay profiting off of misogyny and Howard Stern.
I do one right after it.
I want to be smart.
We'll have to see what Professor Niemer says, Charlie.
I'm not afraid of the operation.
Yeah, because there's no pain involved. That's where the money is. Crap. You know how it is. The more orifices they probe, the more it pays.
Tell me about it. Seriously, tell me about it.
Oh, it's his worst nightmare.
Makes my eyes rain.
You know, it's a mixed bag. Now, keep in mind, men like this is, I mean, I use that term loosely. This is how you end up with a Mamdani, who, by the way, pretty much mirrored what he said in condemning the protesters as white supremacists.
Yeah.
Mamdani won white voters under the age of 44, 67% of their vote. White voters with college degree, 53%. Religious, non-Christian, these numbers, 71%. Just to be clear. Now, here's why we go back to that proposed prescription. Married men, I mean, it's a very different demographic. One vote per household. Married men went for Trump 60%. Married women actually go for Trump at about 51%. There is a difference between people, not always, but there's a stark contrast between those who have to lead. And frankly, it comes down to selflessness. They have to think of someone else before themselves, meaning the majority of married men, fathers, would see a bomb and their brain would go to, it's not about me. It's not about my clout online. It's about protecting my family. It's about ensuring that I can go home to my family so that I can provide for them. And this brings us, I forgot this, for crying out loud.
Well, there's an update too. So after you play this video, I'll give you another one.
Yeah, this guy is comfortable doing this because the entire media ecosystem is predicated on gaslighting. In case you didn't believe me, here is an actual clip from something actually said live on CNN regarding the incident in New York.
2 Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani, and the House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing really to condemn those comments.
Now I know it's a mistake, and I know she corrected it, but that means that writers, she doesn't write anything, that's how do you feel?
I wouldn't think so, yeah.
Writers wrote an attack on Mamdani. Of course, the rest of the segment was largely focusing on white supremacists and the problem they are. That means that she read what the writers wrote in prompter. That means that the producers, whose job it is to proofread it, didn't see anything wrong with it. You have a line of probably anywhere from 10 to 15 people involved. Plot on Mamdani. Yeah, that's good. Run it.
Yeah. Anything to make a Muslim victim.
Yes.
Or
anything.
deflect.
And you said you have a...
And it wasn't just her, so Anna Navarro was actually parroting this exact same...
The one who used to be a Republican.
Apparently so.
Also, she was fat pride and then Ozempic.
Supposedly, some of these comments are as a result of the attempt against Mayor Mamdani in New York, who was raised Muslim, was he not? Himself. Yeah. So they're being anti-Muslim and they're finally defending Mamdani over something.
What?
Interesting.
So there was
a conversation.
There was writers, producers, green light, Abby Phillip reading it, green light, and then a round table conversation where there were multiple people. They're like, yeah, the attack on Mamdani.
Yeah.
Do you guys see? They're not even trying. They're not even trying to be honest with you.
Does that put the apology in context, though? So again, it wasn't just because she said, I'm sorry I didn't catch it in the moment. Okay, maybe it's possible that a writer and the 20 or 30 sets of eyeballs that are even here at this show that see stuff before we go on air to make sure we have our facts correct. That didn't happen on your end, but you had a conversation about it. It wasn't like in the moment. It's like, oh, I misspoke just now because Anna Navarro just gave me a really good in. Anna, sorry, my bad. I need to be admonished. It wasn't an attack on Mamdani. It was an attack on a white guy. They didn't like what he was saying.
Right. And this is the
no
issue.
Excuse.
I'm just using these as microcosms. I'm not saying that Anna Navarro shouldn't be able to vote. What I'm saying is that
I am.
The people who believe there was an attack on Mamdani, who will never be bothered to do their own research, who will never be bothered to do their due diligence, who will never be bothered to feel any responsibility to be honest with you. Because you know what, by the way, if the media is honest with you, that better equips you to protect your family, your community. Their vote, if the election was to be held at that moment in time, you would go in voting knowing that someone yelled Allahu Akbar, was a radicalized Muslim who went to terrorist ISIS hotspots to try and get training, threw a bomb. You would be voting knowing that, and that's the truth. At that same moment in time, you would have thousands of people voting who believe there was a plot to attack Mamdani based on white supremacy. That is no longer a government for the people, by the people. That is a government that is at least half represented by people who are pandering to those who lie, who virtue signal instead of protect, and who have a vested interest in destroying the United States of America. And I don't want to leave you without a solution. So let's run it again. A specific prescription. Here's how you have a government for the people, by the people. I know it sounds counterintuitive. Everyone should be able to vote. Are you starting to get the picture? 1, only those in mandatory selective service. As long as the draft exists, only those in it get to vote. Ladies, take your pick, draft or vote. Right? You want to, then draft. Number 2, legal citizen. Of course, this is overwhelmingly supported. This shouldn't be controversial, except for Democrats, because I think it's hard to get ID. Number 3, you have to have paid taxes for at least 3 years to show that you have skin in the game and be paying taxes this current year. And 4, 1 vote per household. And that's not to control everybody. That's so that a house will not be divided and so that people can act as wise counsel in that house. So the conversation takes place before you vote, as opposed to people watching CNN, getting their information from social media, being not just uninformed, but proactively disinformed, given the wrong information, being conditioned to believe the lies. This is to ensure that they don't cancel out the vote from the person in their house who has skin in their game. That's the 4-point solution. You let me know if you agree with it, if it makes sense. Maybe we'll do some more, we'll do another segment on that. And by the way, the odds just increased. We can check in with Kalshi, that there will be a population decrease in New York during Mamdani's first 18 months. So the likelihood of a population decrease is at about 20% right now. It went up 7% since the bomb.
Well, it does, and the bombs don't count as population decrease. It's people just voluntarily leaving the hellhole of New York City, especially if they try to tax billionaires into oblivion.
It's almost like it would make sense to leave.
It makes
if someone yells Allahu Akbar and throws a bomb, and then those tasked with protecting you go, yeah, but that's not your concern. Your concern is these First Amendment advocates.
Yeah, it's good for tourism.
Yes.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I almost said terrorism.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's good for both, I guess. Technically, terrorism is up, especially if it's Islamic. Really quickly on your voting, I like it. I really do. And I think the first 3 should be the most easy things ever. Like, everybody should be like, well, of course, on the first 3, right? The last one, some people might have a misunderstanding of what that is trying to accomplish. But the moment you sit down, yeah, exactly. The moment you sit down and talk through it, it's like, well, actually, that's very reasonable as well. On the face, though, the first 3 should be absolutely in net contributor. You cannot be somebody who's just taking and deciding on how you're going to take other people's money. It just should not be a thing.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want to be a net contributor? That's fine. Listen, you want to write a check voluntarily because your tax situation worked out where you got a refund, and you go, I want to vote. I want to say in this country. I want you to have it. Send in a check for more than you got back. Contribute to this country federally. You want to vote in state elections? That's fine if you pay state taxes,
of course,
local taxes, city taxes. Federally, you need to be a contributor. I am sorry. I am done with people taking.
Let me be really, really clear with you, okay? This is not a small group. You have many, many, many millions of voters in this country who meet this archetype. They don't work. They don't pay taxes. They're not eligible for the draft. They receive benefits from the government. They are a net drain. They have no family. They have no skin in the game. And they watch CNN and read Blue Sky, and they are going to vote based on that, and it cancels yours out. Not to mention those who are here in this country illegally, but the first group of people advocate for the second group of people. You tell me that's a government for the people, by the people. We need to stop equating with, democracy means everybody. No, that's not what voting has ever been.
Yeah, that's like if 5 tweakers came into my house and said, well, you're a family of 4 and we vote you out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like what?
That's exactly right.
What?
It's not fascism. It is not an oligarchy. You are talking about the people who have something to gain and lose from this country, being those who have a say in the direction of the country. We are not all the same. And these people, and I know that Masterson probably would qualify under that criteria. Great. There aren't enough of them.
Yeah.
That brings us to this next one. These people, they'll hide, they'll obfuscate the truth. Allahu Akbar, bomb. How much clearer do you need it? Allahu Akbar, bomb. Don't worry about it. Fat vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the